up a good point. He said that a large voting bloc are prisoners. He's exactly right. The man...
Their families.
And their families.
Their families.
Yeah, and their families.
The biggest voting bloc is what he said.
Yes. I read a book by the little numbers guy that ran Bill Clinton's campaign that identified soccer moms. What's the name of that book? What's the name of the guy? Penn. Some Penn. And you're right. In that book, there's 72 groups of people that he said if you can target and get to vote for you, you'll win. And he also said, you know, if you're a business and want to make money, appeal to them. One group was homeschooling, you know, because that's really getting popular. The other group is the 700,000 citizens and their family members that we release every year from a cage. So that gets me to this point with the libertarians. Our older libertarians are going to have to turn loose of some ground and let some younger people step up. We need your help and support, not the criticism. There was a point I was going to make on that. I wasn't just saying that to say there was a point I was making on that. Candy kept me out partying late last night.
Yeah, it was not me. It was him.
That sexy dress she had on, she was smoking. Last night. Next question, I'll think of it in a second.
I got one for you. Larry Falzetto, former delegate for the Second Constitutional Convention for the Republic of Texas. Back in 1997, we held a little gather at Sherwood, Texas. I was the only delegate there from San Angelo, Texas. I was homeless. And my question is, we're going to have to go beyond even this issue you're talking about and move towards perhaps secession, because Texas truly is, if you look into this Attorney General into the history of this great nation of Texas, you'll find out that even if the statehood of 1845 was legitimate, we seceded from the Union in 1861, and it was never brought back. But what I want to say is,
because I want to be sure you get this.
My question is, would you consider, if you get enough support for it, to move as Attorney General of the state of Texas for secession? I know Ron Paul has...
If he asked, would I move to secede as Texas from the United States? If that's what it takes to keep the citizens of Texas safe, and if that's what they want, I'm there.
All right.
Don't start the revolution without me. We're not crazy, but we might be. Got to keep them on their toes. Yeah, absolutely. I'm for freedom at whatever it takes. Whatever it takes, that's how valuable my freedom is to me. Now, I remembered what I was going to tell you. The older libertarians and even the older people in our country, I don't beat my head on the wall debating these people, trying to convince them that we're right and we need to change some things and go forward in a new manner. When he brought up about the prisoners being released and that demographic, that's our demographic, and it's y'all. It's the people that's gotten beat up. It's the people that already get it, that we use our energy to create what we've created. The entire time we've done Never Get Busted in this, I didn't go to places where there were 50 hard-nosed, white Christian male Republicans for me to try to convince them that I was right, we need to legalize pot. We spent our energy, you know, gaining support from the people who already get it. So drop Grandpa, drop Grandma, quit trying to convince them you're right. Use that energy to go talk to your neighbor that's smoking a little bit pot in fear, and y'all join together. See, we have to turn loose of those old umbilical cords from the past to achieve what we need to achieve. And if it means turning your back on some of your old people that are holding you back, do it. Because we've got people dying in jails. Do it. Stand up on your own two hind legs and stand up for yourself. That's what this campaign is about. Next question.
Well, there's a bill right now that Perry is supposedly going to sign about, remember the FLDS raid where they raided that group of people and took their children?
It's crazy.
Yeah, well, there's a bill right now that's before Perry that will enable him to make that into law to where they can do that just under suspicion. And
CPS,
the CPS, yeah. So
They already did it.
Have they already done that?
Well, I mean, that's
Oh.
what that seizure was.
Right.
450 kids.
But the bill hasn't been signed into law
They
yet.
don't need a law. They did it anyway.
I just wanted to mention that because that's part of this, and
Yeah.
it could be under suspicion for anything, whether it be drugs or, polygamy or whatever it happens to be, whatever our liberties are under attack.
Those
all
are
of it.
judgmental. What he's talking about was the church group that had they called it a compound.
Yeah.
It was their home
That's
Yep.
what they always do. when
that they
wanna try
raided, and they looked,
demonize.
those kids didn't look as crazy. Some of our kids running loose out here with the normal people. Candy and I were sad for those parents that they disrupted all of that. And that's what he was talking about, taking children without probable cause, just mere suspicion. The root of that is religious judgmentalism. It's religious judgmentalism. Unfortunately, there are some people in the Christian church that think everybody should look like them and their lives should look like them, and if you're involved in polygamy or something else, you're a devil. You put that person in a position of power, and they're going to use that power because they really think they're doing the right thing by separating kids from parents. Those people are crazy.
Yep.
They're from another planet.
Yep.
Pretend like, if God put us here is one thing, but pretend like, let's just say eons, spaceships came and dropped people off from different planets, but they look like people. Those people are from a different planet. And they don't mix well with us. Any more questions?
The reason I brought that up was,
Okay.
real quick, was because if indeed that's what they're going to do, under any circumstance, this is big business. When they grab your kids, they get paid from the federal government to have those kids in CPS, right? That's what I understand.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if they're going to do that for any reason, then what's the biggest fear you have? That somebody's going to take your family away from you.
That's why I'm big on gun rights.
That's right.
Second Amendment. I don't think about shooting people anymore. Since I quit being a cop, I grow flowers.
All right.
But I know the value of having a weapon in your home in case the crazies,
That's crazy.
you needed to be able to defend yourself. As your Attorney General in Texas, by the way, I'm going to invite the ATF out of here.
All right.
And allow state voters to decide what gun laws they want.
That's right.
And allow them to decide what gun laws they want enforced. Not the feds. I've never met those men.
That's right.
Who in the hell are they? I struggle and make a living for my family. They've never came to my home and met me. How in the world, why do I have to live under their rules? I want to live under the rules of my people. The people that I see every day. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
What's the connection between the office you're running for, Attorney General,
Yes, sir.
and sheriffs of counties?
This gentleman asked what the difference is in position with Texas Attorney General and Sheriff. The sheriff is the head law enforcement agent of the individual county. We have 254 counties in Texas. So there's 254 sheriffs. The Attorney General is like the sheriff of Texas.
The sheriff.
That's his county. He's the sheriff of the sheriffs and the chief of the chiefs. It is the highest law enforcement position that you can put. By the way, I'm going to talk about President Obama, and I'm a libertarian. I love what he's doing. And man, I know that digs in libertarians' heart. Oh my God, what did he say? I'm going by what he's done. He demoted the position of drug czar. Did you know that? Out of his cabinet. He picked the chief of police, Seattle, Washington, as his new drug czar. The drug czar is the one who